Thanks so much for checking in. And the light is actually not on. This is amazing. So thanks a lot for checking in. Today I want to talk about rice protein and why I think that rice protein is basically garbage if you want to optimize your gains and if you want to get the best benefit at the biggest return on investment on your time in the gym. If you want to know my reasons, make sure to watch that video till the end. Also make sure to like my content if you like it. Make sure to subscribe down below because in the near future I will make a lot of more videos about these topics. Thank you for watching, and without any further ado, let's dive into the video. So rice protein. Why do I think that rice protein is not a good protein source? The first reason is the DIAA score, which is a score that basically measures the digestibility of a given protein source. So protein sources that have a good digestibility will be up high in this score, or on this score better to say, and other protein sources that are not really digestible for the body will be pretty low. So rice protein, as you can probably tell, is pretty low. So if you look at, for example, whey protein has a digestibility score of around 1.0 to 0.9, so which means if you get 40 grams of protein through whey, you will basically digest all of that protein for your body to use. But rice protein, especially non-processed rice protein, has a digestibility score of around 0.4, which is pretty low. So basically if you get 40 grams of protein with your rice protein, you will digest around 16 to 20 grams of that protein. I mean, if you multiply it by 0.4, you will digest 16 grams, but you never really know. It depends a little bit between individuals, but you will just digest around half of that protein for your body to use. Why is that so? Because non-processed rice protein contains a lot of anti-nutrients, especially phytic acid, which inhibit enzymes that help to digest protein. So if you get a lot of anti-nutrients with your diet, you will not be able to use all the protein that you get through your diet, so for your body to build muscle mass or for other stuff. So this is like the first reason why I really don't like rice protein, because the digestibility of non-processed rice protein is pretty low. The second reason why I really don't like rice protein is because it contains arsenic. Arsenic is a type 1 carcinogen, which means that it causes cancer. It doesn't mean that if you digest or if you eat arsenic that you will get cancer in the future, but it means that it could cause cancer, like the same with smoking cigarettes. Not everybody that smokes cigarettes will get cancer, but the risk is pretty high. The third reason why I really don't like rice protein is the taste and the texture, because if you ever tried rice protein, you will realize that it has this sandy texture. So it feels like you're drinking like some sand or earthy like drink. I really prefer pea protein, like regarding the texture, and also the taste sometimes is a little bit off. So these are the three reasons why I don't really like rice protein, but I want to present you some solutions that you can use if you still want to consume rice protein or if you want to try out other protein sources. So first, for everybody that is still on a vegan diet and wants to stay on a vegan diet, what you guys can do, which I also did in the past, is I chose a protein, or better to say rice protein, that was processed. So basically a fermented rice protein or a sprouted rice protein, because by fermenting the rice protein or by sprouting it, you will use a significant amount of the anti-nutrients, and by that you will increase this digestibility score. So if you look at like current studies, you will see that fermenting or sprouting protein sources, or better to say plants that contain anti-nutrients, will increase the digestibility, or better to say decrease the anti-nutrient content by like 30% or even more. So you actually never know how much, but by fermenting and sprouting the protein source, you will increase this digestibility score and make the protein more bioavailable for you. But if you don't want to consume rice protein, you could consume a pea protein. I prefer pea protein than basically hemp or soy, because hemp or soy also contain anti-nutrients, and pea protein is pretty high on this digestibility score. Pea concentrate sits around 0.8 if you look at the score of the digestibility, and pea isolate is even better digestible for the body, because the more processed the protein source is, the less anti-nutrient it contains. So then if you still want to consume pea protein, what I suggest you to do is supplement with methionine, because methionine is an amino acid that is really present in rice, but not a lot in other plant-based protein sources. So if you're on a vegan diet and just consuming pea protein and then eating some chickpeas and beans besides and quinoa, stuff like that, you will basically be deficient in methionine if you want to maximize your gains. So basically, what I suggest you to do if you still want to stay on a vegan diet, drink pea protein, supplement with methionine, or get processed rice protein. If you don't want to stay on a vegan diet and go plant-based, you can check out Whey Isolate, because Whey Isolate has a really high digestibility score. And for me personally, I tried out Whey Isolate and I have no problem whatsoever regarding the digestibility. First I was a little bit cautious because I was also on a vegan diet for 3 years. I thought like, okay, you know, it's a dairy product, but Whey Isolate doesn't contain any lactose because it's really processed. So this would be a good choice if you want to try out a new protein source. So at the end of the day, if you're not on a vegan diet and if you don't want to consume any protein powders, you can just reintroduce fish into your diet, which contains a high amount of methionine. And if you're worried about the toxins in the fish and the heavy metals like mercury, you can choose fish that contains a little bit less mercury. For example, farmed salmon, farmed trout, or little fish or mollusk also contain less mercury. You can choose fish like that. Also, if you want to eat meat, you can choose grass-fed meat, or also chicken, stuff like that. Even cheese if you want to consume dairy. Like if you are on an animal, or better to say if you're not on a vegan diet, the choices are basically endless. But in this video I wanted to also show you some solutions, and I want to show you a little bit of outside of the box thinking regarding rice protein, because if you look at videos about rice protein, most videos are by people that are on a vegan diet, and sometimes they don't really show the disadvantages, and people that are not on a vegan diet, they never really talk about rice protein because they take in like other protein sources. So I hope this video was enlightening for you guys. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any suggestions for future videos. Thank you for liking that video, thank you for subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.